Hey everyone, today we're going to be performing a battery change in a G Shock GMA-S130, and this is the 5540 module. Let's get right into it. Starting off with what we're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, a spring bar removal tool, ideally metal tweezers, but if you don't have metal tweezers, you can use a metal paper clip, and our replacement battery, which is a CR2016. Getting started with this battery change, the first thing we're going to need to do is flip the watch over and remove our straps. So as we can see, our spring bars are down there and they have little lips on them, and our spring bar removal tool has a little notch. We simply want to wrap that notch around the lips, pull down, then we can twist the strap right out. And I always like to put my thumb there just in case that bar tries to go flying out on me so I won't lose it. Now we'll do the same for the other side. And with our straps removed, now we can go ahead and remove our 4 case back screws and set them aside for later. And now we can pull our case back right off. And don't worry, sometimes the gasket will come off attached to the case back. We'll be able to reinstall that when we're reassembling the watch. Now that we're inside the watch, the first thing we're going to want to do is peel off this little rubber bumper layer and set it aside. And now if we rotate our watch, we'll see right here there's a little latch. This is where having pointy tweezers or that paper clip will come in handy. We're simply going to want to put the pointy end right in the middle, pull out towards us. We'll unlatch the battery housing like so. Usually the battery will be stuck to the sticker, so I'll just slide something right underneath to free it. And we can pull that old battery out and get rid of it. Next we can come on in with our new battery, and I always do suggest holding it by the sides if you don't have little finger covers on. We're simply just going to drop it right in place and push that latch down just like so. You'll hear and feel it click right into place. Now our battery's installed. Now we're ready to go ahead and perform our AC reset. This is simply going to reset our module to factory defaults. This is where having those metal tweezers will come in handy, but if you're using a paper clip, you can simply bend it into an arch. You just want to have 2 metal points. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate my module here, and we can see this little label AC with an arrow pointing right here, and you'll see there's a little gold tab on the bottom of that. We simply want to contact one end of our metal to that gold tab and the other end to the metal on our watch, and hold it there for about 2 seconds. And next, I always like to make sure that I perform the reset correctly. So as we can see, there's this little metal spring here. I like to hold my finger over that just to make sure we don't lose it, because that spring is important for the sound of your watch. I'll go ahead and flip the watch over, and we should see it start flashing seconds 00. So that means that our module is reset, and we are ready to reassemble the watch. Our first step in reassembly is going to be putting that rubber layer back in place. So as we can see, there's a hole for this spring that we just touched, and then a hole for this metal tab down here. We simply want to line those up, drop it right in place, and make sure that everything is protruding properly. And in case your gasket came out when you were disassembling the watch, we're going to go ahead and put that back in. So as we can see, it's just simply a circle. All we have to do is fit it in the groove around the watch here. So we'll drop it in like so, and then I like to use my tweezers and just adjust it if needed. Just want to make sure that it's perfectly seated in that groove, just like that. And now we can reinstall our case back. So we want to remember that our screw in this metal tab indicates the lower portion of our watch. We simply want to make sure that our Casio and G Shock logos are properly oriented. So we'll drop it right in place like so, and you'll feel it fall right into the groove. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our 4 case back screws. I usually just like to hold a finger on the case back, drop my screws in, get them started, and now all we need to do is snug them up. And remember, they don't need to be super tight, just snug. These are very delicate little screws. Now we're ready to reinstall our straps. So what I like to do is grab my strap and my spring bar, thread the bar right through, leave a little more sticking out on the end here. Then I'll grab my watch and I'll tilt the bar. That way one side goes right in the hole, and I'll push it right in place. Come in with my spring bar tool, pull that bar down, and get it seated properly. Now I'll go ahead and do the same on the other side. And now our straps are on there nice and secure. And now there's just one last step to perform before our watch is ready to go again. We need to realign the hands because when we reset the module, it thinks wherever the hands were is now 12 o'clock. So to do this, we're going to press and hold adjust and keep holding it. We'll see HS, which is hand set, and now we see that second 00 flashing again. We're going to use our forward and reverse. We want to make sure this is pointing at directly 12, which would be 0. Then we're going to press mode, and this is to 0 our hour and minute hand. So we want to make sure that this is also at 12 o'clock, which is going to be 000. And once we're done with that, we can simply press adjust. And now our hands will be properly zeroed, so when we set the time, they will display the correct time. And now our watch is officially done. As we can see, all of our modes cycle, our beep is audible, and our backlight is working. So our watch is ready to set and wear again. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this battery changing tutorial. I really hope it was clear and helpful. If you have any questions for me, please comment down below. And if you're interested in more tutorials and watch-related content, please do consider subscribing. I cover a wide array of G Shock, Baby G, and normal Casio products, so please stay tuned for more. Thanks, everyone.